Man. Jason, I just got the latest results from the Roper poll, and everybody loves the show, but nobody loves me.
Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn.
What the heck?
Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its song.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from deep within the planet Earth, it's Jason and Friends. Join Jason as he welcomes his good friend,
Alex Cook.
And now with his faithful compadre, Kelsey, here he is, Jason Eric Mumaw.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to Jason and Friends. We're so glad you're with us.
Cameraman
Sorry
down.
about that, Rob. We're here with my good friend, Kelsey Zummer. Kelsey, how you doing?
Doing great.
And then we had a great week this week.
Yep.
Your kids, you have kids, right?
Yeah, I have kids. I think we go over this every week. We have kids.
No, well, it's fun. And they went to Turkey Run. What's Turkey Run?
Yeah, my oldest actually went on a field trip called Wander, Indiana, and they stopped at State House and a few other places. Ended up in Turkey Run. And so this big story was that he went cliff diving.
Really?
Well, kind of. They have some cliffs there with a waterfall, and as the teachers and adults were coming over a ridge, they saw him launch himself off of about 12-foot high cliff into knee-deep water. And it was the second time he had gone off. The first time he'd slipped on accident and thought it was so much fun he'd do it again.
Accident. Chip off the old block, right?
Yeah.
I think we have a picture of exactly what it was that he
Yeah.
fell off of, but then he ended up jumping off it again as well, right?
Yeah, so he was fine. It more than anything scared all the adults.
And as you know, this week, as we had Rob on last week, I'm training for the Sunburst 5K.
In it to win it.
Right, exactly. I'm going to win the thing.
Yep.
And last week we showed me training where you chased me with
helping,
a knife.
yeah.
Well, I'm getting better. I'm getting a little bit faster, and as you can see here, I'm getting much faster now.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm improving along with my training, so I think everything looks good.
Yeah.
It'll be great, and so everything is fine.
We'll catch you at the finish line. See you in the paper.
Yeah, now I don't know if you heard about this. You know, Batman. You know who Batman is?
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah, he's Batman.
Batman, Dark Knight.
Exactly. Well, he was in the news this week. He was arrested. Did you hear about that? He was arrested. True story.
I thought he was one of the good guys.
No, he was apparently a 31-year-old. Mark Wayne Williams was pulled from the roof of a Michigan hardware store by police and was arrested for trespassing and possessing of dangerous weapons, and he was dressed as Batman. Besides his Batman getup, William was carrying a steel baton,
Sure.
weighted gloves, and a can of chemical irritant spray when officers found him hanging from the roof.
Huh.
And so what was he doing? This is great. We have our satellite hookup again, once again, and we're going straight to Michigan with our Batman. He's in jail. They allowed us to do this. Batman, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thanks for having me, Jason.
Okay, Batman, you're just in jail for doing something that you shouldn't have been doing?
I don't know that that's necessarily accurate, Jason. You see, I was on top of the... I'm sorry, asthma, really I can do the voice for like 30 seconds and I'm done. So we'll just go on. Anyway, Jason, I was on the roof because I had heard on the scanners that there was some really nefarious people doing some serious jaywalking over on 3rd and Elm. So I checked it out to clean up the streets, help out the cops, you understand. You know, I had some downtime to check out this jaywalking thing because I put so many criminals behind bars. Now, the cops will tell you they aren't as, terrible as the Penguin or, something like that. But let me tell you, it's really difficult to grab and put these guys behind bars. Some of the more citation supervillains, there's Captain Double Park, very scary man. There is Professor Noise Ordinance Violation. Loud gentleman, let me tell you. And of course, the ever scary Baron Von doesn't clean up his dog do. Gross, right?
Now, you know, the real Batman is famous for all his fantastic gadgets and everything. Now, do you have any of the same thing that he may have?
Oh, naturally, Jason. I have the utility belt, obviously. It's got a lot of high-tech stuff. Let me show you what I've got. The pickled sausage. Hungry, you know. I've got circus peanuts, okay. Obviously Fun Dip, obviously. I've got this this umbrella where I can, you know, if it rains or if I want to hit people, it can leave like a real nasty bruise, sorry. Funyuns, of course. And then I found this soiled bra out on the street about a week ago, and you know, it kind of reminds me of my grandma, and yeah, I miss you, Nana.
So Batman, or should I call you Mark?
You should call me Batman, Kelsey.
Well, okay, sorry. Batman, really we need to know, how are they treating you in jail?
You know, they couldn't be more nice. The inmates haven't shanked me once, super cool. And you know, here's the big shocker. The Joker and the Riddler, really stand-up guys. They're really nice while they're in here.
Are you serious? The Joker and Riddler are there with you?
Yes, I think that they are. The Joker, it might just be a transvestite with too much makeup and a really funny meth addict in a green suit, but whatever, they're real nice guys.
And 1 more minute, Aquaman.
I told you, Robin, it's Batman, don't forget, quit goofing around.
Told you, don't call me Robin. Sergeant O'Toole, fish.
Just play along.
Shut up, meat.
Well, I guess I gotta go, Jason. My time's up. But you know, if you want to come by and visit, it'd be great. Bring some bail money, or hide a nail file up your rectum. Anything would be super awesome.
I'll do what I can there, Batman. Thanks so much for joining with us, and thanks for the update. And we wish the best to you, Batman.
I feel safer knowing
exactly.
he's off the streets.
Yeah, and so, you know, superheroes are not just what they used to be anymore.
No, they're not.
Well, anyway, you know, I came across this picture this week.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do this time-lapse picture.
That can be real cool.
I don't know if you saw this. This is actually pretty cool. It was a time-lapse of a plane taking off, and they call it Stairway to Heaven. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't. That's sweet.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool there.
That's
I just thought
pretty sharp incline there.
Oh, yeah. And I just thought that was pretty cool here. Now, you know, Kelsey, did you go to the prom?
I did not.
Well, I did. I went to, I think, at least one prom. But, you know, it's a big deal for people.
Yeah.
You know, they got to get their right dress. They got to get their right wardrobe and everything.
Flowers, where to take them to eat, what kind of a ride am I providing, all that stuff, yeah.
Well, I came across some things this week, and I want to be a service to you. Here are some things that you do not want to do when you're going to the prom, and we have some pictures here. These are things that you don't want to do. I know for the women, it's very much about their hairstyle. You don't need a helicopter hairstyle here.
No.
If you're going to go on to the prom, make sure you have a ride. Don't be taking the subway. Yeah, I know everybody's on a budget with the economy. No duct tape outfit at all.
It's like a Michael Jackson suit I saw once.
Right. And if you can't find a date, just don't go. You don't need to be getting a little horse, donkey, what do you call them, ponies or something like that. It's stupid. Don't go to the prom with a pony. Right?
Insert joke. Move on.
All right. Okay, here we go. Now, I like this. If my prom date looked like this, if I can get my wife to wear this, I'd be happy.
Yeah, it looks like something right out of Schwarzenegger's Conan the Barbarian, I think.
Yeah, and then I like this. This is Dennis Rodman. It looks like he's become a Spider-Man and just sprayed his
had I gone to prom, that's what I would have worn.
Look at these guys here. I don't know.
Scared eye, dude.
Yeah, we'll probably edit this one out. This one here, she's here with the dog and the camouflage and the rifle.
Yeah, going looking for a date.
You're gonna have the proper ride going to the prom.
Right.
Make sure you have a limo, not so much a rejacked.
But dinner at 7-Eleven, that's good.
Oh yeah, you get the big bike going and everything. Of course, here it is, the camouflaged outfits and everything. And if you're going to the prom, please do not take your sister like I did. And here it is.
Oh.
We bring back Mumaw. I took my sister.
Uma looks great.
I think she looks fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what time it is?
Game time.
No, it's not game time. What are you talking about? It's time for the web clip of the week.
Oh, I'm excited now.
You are? Don't get a shot of that, please.
Insert joke here. Move on.
All right. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we brought you this big dominoes thing where people were using their DVDs and everything. Well, this time, the domino factor was made with actual domino walls. And if you don't know what exactly I'm talking about, well, here, take a look.
I'm recording!
Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Jason and Friends, and I'm so glad that you're back with us. And my great friend this week is somebody that I have never met
until
now, is Alex Cook. Now, I met your great friend Tim Aberly.
I wouldn't say great friend, but Tim, yes.
Yes.
I know him.
Met him a couple of weeks ago. You guys are the partners on Men in Film, Men on Film, Men with Film, Men associated with film. What is it?
Greatly involved in film.
Men greatly involved with film. Now, you guys review movies, past and present?
Yep, mostly past or obscure stuff people might not have heard of.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, we talked with Tim about movies of the 80s, and I, of course, had the upper hand on Back to the Future with him and Joe versus the Volcano. But this week, we're going to be talking about horror films.
Horror films.
Not other type of films. Horror films. Horror films.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tell me about what the genre encapsulates.
Well, horror is, something that'll scare you or make you think or scared or make you sleep with the lights on, something like that.
Right. Now, are you a big fan of these type of films?
I am, yes.
Now, kind of back me up and what is some of the history of these films?
Well, horror's been around since film's been around. People love to be scared, and I think directors love scaring people.
Right. Now, Psycho, I guess, is probably noted as one of the first horror films, although what's nice about Psycho is they left a lot to the imagination. What can you tell me about Psycho and how it affected the whole genre?
Yeah, well, it's, the theory that less is better, kind of, that, you don't need to show, guts and spleens hanging from ceilings.
Exactly.
You can just show a little bit of blood, and that, gets the point across.
They showed the blood in the shower scene, but it was in black and white, and it just made you cringe a little bit, right? Is that the definition of a horror film? Just to kind of make you feel queasy?
Not necessarily queasy, but just terrified. So this could happen to me.
Then along comes The Exorcist. A lot of people remember this, where her head spin around and it shot off, or something like that. I don't remember.
The pea soup.
The pea soup, right. Now, what was so influential about The Exorcist? Because a lot of people just can't even watch that to this day.
It was just so gritty, and, it just went against everything that a horror movie should be.
Right. Was it because of the head spinning?
Well, the subject matter, and it was, this small girl that was possessed by a demon, and just, it was very vulgar.
So now filmmakers of this day and age, are they influenced by that? They've seen that and they go, this is what we need to do to affect an audience as far as the horror genre?
I'd say, you definitely want to look at it and say, it needs to be something similar.
Right.
I need to get the point across, and that movie definitely.
Now, a lot of people will look at it nowadays and see her head spin around and spit up the green pea soup and everything as a joke. But at the time, this was really taken seriously, and people were really affected by this as like, holy cow, this is pretty freaky.
Yeah, exactly. Now with movies showing, torture and stuff, it's, kind of tame to that. But at the time, it was pretty extreme.
Now, this was what, mid-'70s that they came out with The Exorcist? And then from there on, they really started getting exploited a little bit. We had movies like The Nightmare on Elm Street, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep, there was a decade of just slasher movies.
Okay, what was different about those than from, like, let's say, the Psycho and The Exorcist? They really started going pretty gory on these.
Yeah, a lot of the early stuff just psychological. But then it got to be, okay, we need to actually show, people getting their heads chopped off. And
Right. Now, is that as effective? Do you think an audience reacts to that, or do they think it's funny, or do they think it's like actually scary?
it kind of depends on the movie. There's movies where people get their arms chopped off, and there's just a water cannon of blood, and
Right.
that's funny. But there's some stuff that's kind of serious and kind of disturbing.
Right. Now, Nightmare on Elm Street came along. Tell me about that movie and its place in the history of horror films.
Well, Wes Craven came out with that shortly after Friday the 13th.
Right.
But it had a killer that you could not escape. He killed you in your dreams, and there's no way to fight that.
Right. Now, some of the more recent ones you have listed here that we want to talk about is Paranormal Activity. But as we talked a little bit before, as the Blair Witch Project kind of set off this kind of reality type of a horror genre. Yeah, to where it almost makes it feel like real. Has that been a little bit more effective into this audience nowadays?
Yeah, I believe so. Everybody has a camcorder. People
Right.
take it out and say, okay, I'm going to film something. And, you never know what you're going to see.
Right. And so if they see something that's just crazy in this, like you saw in the Blair Witch Project, it's a little bit more effective as being scary.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Paranormal Activity. I know I haven't seen that movie. Tell me about why that one might be enough to just make you not, want to fall asleep at night.
Well, it's a pretty basic film. I think the budget was about $12,000 or $15,000, so that's nothing. It's about this house this couple that's haunted by a demon, and every night they set up a camcorder and capture what goes on. It gets increasingly worse.
So your favorite horror film of all time is what? If you had to recommend, say, hey, if you need to watch a horror film and you want to get scared, what do you watch?
I like Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Nightmare on Elm 3. Why? What about 3?
Because I'm a big fan of Freddy Krueger, and this is kind of where he becomes the Joker, joking,
Right.
where it's fun to him.
Right. So tell us where people can check you guys out and where you guys review films like this exactly.
Yep.
Not new ones. You guys review new ones and old ones, but where can people check you out?
We're at instantviewreview.wordpress.com.
Okay.
We have a request a review tab, so there's something you want us to review, feel free to send us.
They'll review it, and then you guys will rip them to shreds, whether or not it's a good film or not.
Yeah, we won't use their names, but it's been hard.
Now, Alex, thank you so much for being with us today. And so that's it for this week's show. And of course, we're going to be doing our advice right now. Do you like our advice?
I enjoy it.
Do you really? Are you excited about it?
I do. I write it down and put it under my pillow.
Do you really?
Yep, so I don't forget.
Under your pillow?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, this week's advice is, I just like to leave you with something that you can take with you an entire week. Just save a life and be aware. Motorcycles, they're everywhere. Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Portions of today's program have been made possible by GeneralTomfoolery.com. For all your foolery needs, that's GeneralTomfoolery.com.